Yeah.
So maybe to talk a little bit about the future and stay with you, Tobias, is if you think about stuff like VR or kind of like these Ready Player One worlds, where do you think gaming is heading? Like VR and kind of like these all omni devices and stuff. What do you think? Is Ready Player One a real thing? Should we invest on that?
Oh, I wish it would be a real thing, right? So, so I remember when I left Blizzard a long time ago, I was giving an interview and I got the exact same question regarding VR, and I was like, back in the days, I don't consider VR as something really gaming playable. It's more like watching things, because I was just thinking about if you play in a shooter in VR, you will get horrible neck pain, right? So it's but there are actually entertainment angles you can use. Like I think PlayStation showed it and made it public to everyone. I think VR is great. It's a great opportunity, but I think it's not still there where the industry would like to have it. For me personally, I like the approach with the sensors you can attach to it where you're located in the room. But for me, it would be, I don't want to have a clunky headset. I don't want to be connected with a cable. It needs to be wearable, right?
Yeah.
So the innovation you had with smartwatches or something like this, if it's really not somehow disturbing you, then I think it really has a chance. My personal bet would be I like the AR component, that it's really mixing with the real world. I mean, we have seen from the Google Glass, from Microsoft, this was the Minecraft thing where they were with gestures able to steal the Minecraft universe. And I think this could be the bigger thing coming up. It's always difficult to give these predictions. And as said, I would really love to live in the, or not live, but have an Oasis style and walk around there. But I think my expectation is too high. I would really like to feel it, and this will take a long time.
So a matrix pin in the back of your head is not your cup of tea.
Well, it feels uncomfortable, I think, right? So, as said in the beginning, I also like to do some outdoor things there, so, and experience the real thing as well. But I think it's getting there sometime, and maybe there will be like only contact lenses that have the AR included somehow. I don't know how they do with the battery, but this is something I would really like to have. So,
it does bring me to the come to mind that how Gabe Newell was saying somewhere in an interview lately, where he says like, yeah, we got to go past these meat peripherals, and I was like, whoa, wait a second. So, but he meant like going neural, you know?
Meaning so we're skipping the VR sets, but we are going straight into the brain.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that, Rinaldo? Do you think that is something in the near future?
Well, I would say we need to give it some time. I mean, just look at 1980s when we started with gaming. And I remember me being in my early 20s, which was in the 1990s, thinking one day maybe I will be in the gaming industry and I'm going to make an open world game that looks realistic, you know? And I never believed it would happen, but now actually you have that. Everything looks super realistic, and that's also. I think anything that we can think of can happen. I mean, you can make dreams come true, because the dreams that we're living today or the things that we're living today were dreams 30 years ago, you know. And now we're dreaming of having AR devices that are lenses. I don't think that's unrealistic. I think that's going to happen at some point. If games are still going to be what we think today they are going to be in 20 years, I think gaming is going to be something very different. I don't think people are going to be entertained by the same things that we are entertained with today. I also want to contradict, I think Tobias said it with, let's say, PC master race and Stadia and cloud gaming. I think that's going to be a thing in the future, because standardized devices that are low cost, but you can experience everything awesomely. That's going to be, there's still going to be it's going to be something else, master race, that have dedicated devices at home that are even more powerful. But I think cloud could be the standard of tomorrow, because you can wear a basic device wherever you want to go. And if you really want to have a power device, you have that at home. But I think
I said it will come, but I say I don't like it.
yeah. The thing is that gaming, as I said, that gaming is not going to be gaming in 20 years. It's going to be something else, and it's not going to be differentiate between gaming and entertainment. It's going to be video. It's going to be music. It's going to be the interaction with other people. It's going to be very different. It's going to be a bastard child of social media. And everything that you're consuming right now, because we're all competing for the one thing that every person in the world has, and that's their time. We discussed about it earlier, right? And we want to maximize the time, and we're going to be hyperactive in every kind of ways in interacting with each other. And gaming is only one part of it, but it's going to be all together.
Yeah. Yeah, funny. We were talking about as well, like that the film industry, of course, now has a hard time. The productions are kind of closed up because of this whole pandemic. Then Epic, they released this great meta-human stuff. Maybe for you, Ian, do you think the movie industry and the game industry will fuse somehow?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I think, the movie industry is kind of, certainly it's gone through its troubled times over the last 12 or 14 months. And I think, things like what the guys at Epic did with Fortnite and, it's kind of really opened their eyes. And I think there will be, I'm finding more and more of the studios, the movie studios, kind of talking to gaming companies because they can see the synergy massively. And I'm not just talking about a kind of a licensing deal where, you have to give them $1 million to buy the latest, Batman movie or whatever, allow us to develop a game and publish it. But there is that kind of, I think different medias kind of merging together. I can see definitely happening more and more as we go forward.
I believe so as well.
I think there's already just adding to that, there's already crossover in the terms of narrative design, right? There's a lot of people that actually write Hollywood scripts as well as they're working for games studios. Now more and more, I'd say, TV productions as well based upon games and things like that, because I think they do lend into each other, especially when it comes from storytelling perspectives. There's a lot that can be learned from each other. If you look at Telltale games with the episodic kind of approach that was kind of not known as much within games and things like that, I think there's definitely potential. And just seeing, I think Ian mentioned that at the beginning, the growth of the industry and how it's overtaken almost any other kind of art form in a way. Like the industry makes more money now than Hollywood, music, sports combined, and I think there is still way more growth potential. And I think that is why Hollywood and the movie industry is actually eyeballing games more and more as well, because I think there's definitely crossover forms, right? Like on Netflix, there's a show with Bear Grylls that is an interactive thing that they had already before with, I can't remember the name of the
Black Mirror or
Benders, something like that.
Yes. So I think things like that will happen more as well. And I think down the line, it's definitely possible that there's going to be way more learnings and synergies and whatnot.
Yeah, we haven't yet.
Also, if you see the Mandalorian with the set from the Unreal Engine they use, I mean, it's you can always see there is some certain crossover and exploring new possibilities, and the industry are really, say, helping or adding to each other. So.
Yeah, we're responding on Alexis on, and we haven't yet seen, at least I didn't, the 80 or 90-year-old gamer as much as they do read books and maybe watch some movies. The industry hasn't seen the full entirety of the human race, I think.
Yeah,
right?
Let's say if you go from a 0 to 100, so the industry is still quite young. And the new people that are born are getting raised with games.
Yeah.
All the education is kind of being gamified as well. Yeah. So it's very interesting where it goes. It's still growing a lot, I think, in the next 50 years.